Time Agent Brendan here, who's had to go sub-wave network while all the toxic time turds were being thrown by the various wounded bodies pointing their virtual signalling fingers at each other, all blaming each other for the cause of the death of Doctor Who. Anyone want to take responsibility? No, we'll wait. In this depressingly uninspiring climate for Doctor Who, the actors, the producers and various esteemed Doctor Who alumni continue to show their tin ears, their absolute disconnection with the viewer on the streets, their deluded dreams, and do it as some disturbing fan service to try to give each adoring fan who's listening a happy ending, a golden glow of hope. Reality check now from Time Agent Brendan. Bad wolf are wounded and might have a target on my head, but let's get this message from the Whovian streets out there. Spies everywhere. If you approve of this message and want the sense for your saloon to survive, you know what you have to do. A hype, a like, a subscribe, a repost, all are very welcome. They might even get me a drink in this downtown saloon, you never know, somewhere nondescript away from the lights of Cardiff or London. So, Billie Piper and David Tennant sent verbal bouquets into the Los Angeles Comic-Con audience by tossing in some red meat into the salivating Whovian audience. Cue yawn.
Predictable as ever, Doctor.
What was this red meat? The protein for the Whovian paupers on the streets? Our Billie and David would love a Doctor Who movie. Or do they? I have some considered thoughts on this in my saloon assessment. Take notes, saloon customers.
I'm in trouble now.
I mean, it worked. It grabbed the headline. It gets them cheap attention. It makes them into gods again for a day in the eyes of the hungry Doctor Who public. Does David want in his contract that he must return as Doctor Who every single year or something? Is this some sort of recursive occlusion nightmare of a David Tennant actor trapped in a Castrovalva-esque world of Doctor Who? The 10th, the 14th, the cartoon, the computer game. You're on your own, mate. This time, I want the Portreeve to win. You are stuck there, mate. You keep going round and round and round, chasing the laundry and...
You wouldn't be told.
Response to this movie idea has been tumbleweed, or more aptly, wolfweed snores. So what was actually said at this LA Comic-Con? Let's get to it, eh? Hey, wake up at the back there, you lot. They're onto you. David and Billie were asked, do they foresee a movie coming out? As if they just grow on trees or as commonplace as the latest B&M character sets. Now, they both said yes. Billie said she's pitched for a movie. She would do it, and so would David. Because Doctor Who in season 1 and 2 was like a movie anyway, is what they said. Cue popcorn explosions of derision. So there you go. That's what it's all about. Okay, more accurately, cue cynical Time Agent Brendan response. Here comes my takedown of this Tennant try-on and Piper pipe dream.
You will confess, Doctor? All right.
They want a Doctor Who movie, all right. Haha. You mean like the two Peter Cushing movies, riding on the meteoric success of Dalek Mania and the 60s phenomenon of Doctor Who? Have I missed something? Is there a craze I missed out there, all yearning for movies of the Bogey Monster or the Space Babies? Bone Monsters, anyone? The anorexic Omega on the big screen? Sutek as the new Marvel Wolverine by any chance? Anyone? There is nothing from season 1 or 2 that a movie could build on. No launch pad of Dalek Mania, just a quicksand of queer energy and puff dialogue.
He knows he is entering a trap.
They want a Doctor Who movie, do they? Do you mean like the 1996 Paul McGann movie, that one-off movie that tanked in the USA? Or do you mean That Paul McGann movie that was a much needed bank holiday Monday tonic to the British Doctor Who fans who had by that stage waited 7 years for new Doctor Who on the TV. There was a thirst, there was a hunger, a whole generation in waiting. Our Whovians on the streets now demanding a new series, jamming the BBC switchboard with complaints that there's been no season 3 announcement yet. Tumbleweed, wolfweeds, apathy. It feels different this time. Wouldn't a Doctor Who movie be good, enthused David and Billie? Do they know what has truly happened in the television lounges across fandom? 26% have never seen Doctor Who. 40% of 18 to 24-year-olds haven't seen Doctor Who. There's general apathy out there while they go to their little Comic-Cons and enjoy their expensive autograph sessions.
Must you say such nauseating things?
Wouldn't a David Tennant movie resurrect the television brand? Or you mean the toxic brand of Tennant? The political yearnings of Tennant? The fading star of the Tennant Doctor Who brand? The compromised 14th Doctor Tennant? The Isaac Newton-loving Tennant Doctor? The Tennant Doctor currently weeding the rose beds of Donna's front garden? Nope, me neither.
I bring you the gift of bodily salivas.
They think a Doctor Who movie produced now would be good for us. Oh yeah. When Doctor Who was turned into some cheap end-of-pier act or sleazy downtown Soho late-night risque cabaret act in the eyes of the general public, I would worry about the inclusion, the diversity, the plastered on a trowel messaging in any movie. Let's leave it, shall we? But a movie could be a Doctor Who blockbuster, Brendan. Have you seen the latest ratings, David and Billie, while you charge hundreds of pounds for autographs and photo sessions, or just to be in the same room as your esteemed audience? Who's going to watch this movie? Take a look again. Remember the ratings last year? Remember that we were down to 2.57 overnight? Remember that we'd lost so much of the audience? Remember that compared from Space Babies to Reality War, in their favourite analysis, 14% of the audience had been lost? I mean, honestly, what sort of criteria is David and Billie using for this judgment? Look at the ratings. They tanked. They fell off a cliff. Talk about cliffhangers. Look at season 15. It so grabbed the audience it went down from 3.5 to 3.4. Season 14 started at 4. We lost 310,000. See, this is no good. They can say all they want, but remember, the season 1 average for overnights was 2.27, 3.7 million consolidated, but it fell with consolidated by 600,000, and it fell by 380,000 on the overnights. So please tell me, using what criteria, what strange logopolitan kind of maths is this, that apparently everybody is desperately yearning for a Doctor Who movie? Not getting enthusiastic yet? I'm not. Brendan, Time Agent Brendan, you've been too cynical. You've lost your touch. You haven't been around for a while. You don't get it.
Except he dies.
The media insiders have given their reaction too. My well-connected, well-informed TV producer source said so himself. His words, not mine. Brendan, I'm bored already. I'm not interested in a Billie and David Tennant special. This is like people arguing over the weather or debating whether Ace and the Doctor had sex or kissed on a Big Finish audio. Who cares? Sorry, Source, sorry, I shouldn't have whispered to you. Unless they're going to announce a Series 3 with her, why would the BBC do it? If you're the BBC and BBC Studios says we want to do a special with Billie Piper and David Tennant, We want 3.5 million for an hour. Why would you do it? My source continued. It has to be logical, Brendan. If Billie Piper and David Tennant are going to come back and do this ridiculous story, it has to go somewhere for the BBC. There has to be a series 3 or it ain't happening. So, we continue to ask. David Tennant and Billie Piper say, let's make a movie. We'd love it. Everybody's up for it. Clickbait, cynicism of the media in operation there. We said so ourselves. My source said so. People are not watching it, Brendan. I don't think anyone cared. The BBC will think you want to put in Billie Piper and the executives are thinking, well, might give it a bump. Maybe everyone's going to go nuts and say, we've got to have a third season. Probably not. No one cared. I mean, that was clearly because I watched that scene and it was clear that they must have CGI'd a face onto Shooty's body. In other words, it was a rush job. And my source continued. They don't know what to do, Brendan. What they've done is they've made a creative decision not to give the show a soft close, but to give it a cliffhanger that gets media clickbait to try and encourage a season 3. That decision has been made in the environment that if it gets clickbait, do it. And really, oh, we might do a Doctor Who movie. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Oh, shall we do a special like Donna Noble back with David Tennant? It worked in the lockdown years. Oh, what a great wheeze that would be. Why not come up with an idea? Why not actually come up with somebody new? Why not stop flogging a dead horse? Why don't you just move on and stop it? We mentioned this, do you know what, a month ago, I inquired with my source about this rumour about a David and Billie special. He put that to bed. A month later, up pops, it's like whack-a-mole this, up pops the next great wheeze in fandom. Fed by those two. A movie. Never mind a Billie and David special. What about a Billie and David movie? What about no? The only version my source said really in the end is they might do a 3 to 6 minute Children in Need Billie and David special. But that's the gist of it. That's it. But stop teasing like red meat the public.
Leave the girl. It's the man I want.
So, are you getting the hint yet?
Isn't that interesting? Very interesting.
No more feeding the eager puppies, wagging their tails. Come on, let's get on with this. Honestly, a Doctor Who movie? No one in the media is discussing it. It's not a thing. It's just fan wank.
Awful lot of people have masturbated over my work and come up to me and tell me.
What? I've not seen that one before.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that. Where's this Brendan? That's the yeah.
I expect better from the actors, the producers, to stop this teasing, stop waving pipe dreams above the heads of the plebs. I find it cruel. I find it offensive. It insults our intelligence. There is no rationale or logic to a Doctor Who movie in 2025 or 2026 at all. Unless the BBC become desperate for a last-ditch attempt to revive the corpse. You know, when they do that one last try to massage the heart, one last electrical charge before calling it dead. So, do we think this is a possible thing? My source just laughs at me. Brendan, people are not watching it. I don't think anyone cared. The BBC will think you want to put in Billie Piper and the executives are thinking, well, try and give it a bump. Well, we've tried the electrical charge. It didn't work. That 16th Doctor stunt did not work. So, I ask you again, do we think this is a possible thing? Billie even admitted the stunt of her appearing as the Incredible Hulk, gender-bending 16th Doctor. laden with clown-like makeup and a Schwarzenegger shoulders, was all last minute and all very cloak and dagger. There was no thinking, there was no planning, there was no thought, there was no care, just red meat thrown to a dwindling, apathetic audience. Billie and David, nice try. We see you. Time Agent Brendan is now getting off this subwave network to go and torture the Who-Pet agents across the world. They are demanding food and wages and getting their own Who-Pet union. I need to quell my own rebellion. Time Agent Brendan checking out now. So like, subscribe, hype to ensure the independent Doctor Who voice lives on.